All right, hi everyone. This is the last one on cones. And I don't have a cone here, but we know that the bottom of a cone is a perfect circle. Um, but if we turned it, it would become an ellipse, just like we have with cylinders. And you can kind of think of a cone as a modified cylinder is a good way to think of it. So let's just do something straightforward, okay? So I'm just going to draw two cylinders again, just like I did over there. It's a little wonky, but that's all right. Wow, that's not great. Okay. Let's start with this one over here. So let's say that this is a straightforward cone and it's pointing up this way. What we need to find, we leave the base as is, okay? What we need to find is the center of this ellipse, okay? Now you can eyeball it, which is what I would do. If you wanted to be really exact about it and you were using exact measurements, you would find like the widest part, connect those, and connect the widest part, like the narrowest, whatever. Divide it in half like that. And then, but I just put a little dot in there. And then, carefully join the tip, that point to the edges. And then you can erase all the information that you no longer need. So I'll just do it again. So this is one where we're seeing the bottom of the cone. And actually, we'll do it. This one we'll put the thing on the bottom, since this bottom is not already not great. And then I'll connect here. I'm going to connect here. And I'm going to make it so that I'm actually going to make the curve here a little more pronounced. And that works in my favor. It makes it a little more realistic. Oops, I forgot to set my timer. I'm going to give myself 7 minutes. Okay. So, so that's the straightforward thing. I would also want you to try doing it at an angle, try doing one that's like maybe long and skinny. So I'm just going to draw like a long and skinny. Sorry, that wasn't good. Sometimes when you're doing these like long, skinny diagonal ones, it's better to just turn the paper. Because we are a lot better at pulling lines down and having that be an accurate angle as opposed to pulling them across. We can do curves really like accurately, but pulling like a diagonal line across, sometimes sometimes you need to do it because maybe you're drawing on the ceiling or in some kind of corner that you can't move around well. But if you can move around your canvas, sometimes that's just the best move. So we'll say that we're seeing the bottom, and then this is our base. And then I'm just going to do a little thing here. And if I wanted to, I could use a straight edge. I'm going to eyeball it just because I like challenging myself with that to see how accurate I can get the line. Let's see. Hopefully it looks more like a pyramid cone and less like a carrot. I'm actually going to switch to my sharper pencil. Okay, so on with the, before I hit the examples, one thing that I see a lot is that people get the shading wrong with the cones, okay? So that's our light source. I drew it kind of weird. What I want to do, and honestly, a lot of times when I draw a cone, I don't I don't draw the whole cylinder and then pick it out from the cylinder. Sometimes I just draw this isosceles triangle angle and then add the curve to the bottom. And if you're comfortable, do that. So a lot of times what I see is when people are shading a cone, and we're going to go even a little more, is that people will do something like this. Like that, okay? Which is kind of like almost right. But remember what we said about shadows following the contour, okay, of the shape. What it actually is, and instead of the shadow being like straight up and down like this, it's actually at an angle, okay? And the angle will, like, the shape of it mimics the contour, which just means the outline of the shape. And I'm actually going to do rough shading here, a little rougher. So you can see I'm kind of like, when I'm plotting out my areas as they're going to get lighter, I'm sort of thinking of them as like really like skinny pie pieces. So I'm going to like touch this up a little bit and refine this edge a little more so you can see better. But you see how like the darkest part of the shadow, it's not going from top to bottom. It's starting at the very tip, very point, and then going out. So you're going out. That's how your shadows are going out, like following that contour. So it's kind of like a very skinny pie piece. And then, where's my little example? Yeah, so this is just an example. This is, I wanted to show an example where the like top part of the coat is completely facing the light. You might be tempted to be like, okay, if my light source is here, maybe this is darker and this gets lighter. No, the light would be hitting the same amount of that entire cone if it was positioned this way. And then I just wanted to show this one as an example of, I did some more hatching. Like, remember I did the hatching over here. This is an example of hatching that's a little bit more subtle, but it still looks smooth enough. So if you like this look, you can go hatchy, kind of a scratchy look, but just keep it, keep it neat and don't get too crazy with it. So try to stay as smooth as this. So that's it. There's just one other thing that I would want to say is, if you're really into this and, maybe you're looking for more of a challenge, and this was easy, you can experiment on the back with doing something like, seeing if you can make forms that like intersect with one another. So I'm just going to do this real quick because I have a minute and a half left. So we'll say we got the cylinder here, right? And I could do something where, maybe I want to have a cone that's piercing through it, so to get that cone, first I'm going to draw a cylinder. Okay. And then I'm going to go like that and see, I've got my cone forming. I kind of wish that I hadn't made it so skinny, but sometimes you just gotta deal with it. So I've got a cone here. And I want to make it look like it's going through the cylinder. So I'm actually going to stop it here. I'm continuing this line here. Now I'm taking them out, this part of it. So now it looks more like this is piercing through it. I'll be honest, this isn't the greatest, the most convincing one, but we're just going to go with it. So there you have it. If you want, you can try some stuff out on the back with forms intersecting. But that would just be like if you wanted to do something for extra credit. And that is it. Whoa, another one with perfect timing. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.